upgrading the homestead. Yes, my dear cousin inherited from his side of the family his grandfathers on his wife's side of the family, her grandfather's house. It was something like a Frank Lloyd Wright house, and really nice. And and then he had a. They think about selling it, and to sell it, you need a home inspection. So he gets one of these private home inspections. The guy goes in there and looks at it and says, "Wow, this is a really nice house." Oh, he goes to the attic and says, "Oh, I see you happen to have, well, quote unquote, in wintertime you must have a lot of mice up there." He has a lot of mice up there. Oh, okay. And, well, they have a good home up there. And you know what bats in the belfry is? Yes. Now that's an environmental disaster. And he said, I noticed the cracking in the beams holding the roof. Cracking beams? Nobody goes on top of the roof, do they? Well, you can't. You need some structural replacement or bolting. Okay. How many layers of shingles do you have on the roof? It turns out to be three layers of shingles. Oh, no. No. You got to remove those shingles. No, you gotta, it's putting too much weight in the house. And of course, the snow time. Well, he said, well, I have this great big snow rake that I do that. Well, that might be nice. But what happened to the next owner who picks up the house and he doesn't use a snow rake up on top? And yet things builds up and then you get moisture and let's say the worst case scenario, you got rain, fog, and the roof caves in. I can't say that is safe to have on the roof. And you got a mice problem up there. It looks like you got bat problems up there, and you got hornet problems up there. And I haven't seen any raccoons in the place, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get into the place. Okay, and you think that's bad? I think Frank Lloyd Wright actually put in the electric wiring up there, or maybe Thomas Edison did. You really don't go up there much, do you? Well, you remember where your electric light is? Yeah, I would think that's 50 years old, 60 years old, 100 years old. That's an old light up there. Oh, yeah, we think it's an antique. Oh, it's an antique, all right. And the wiring to that is an antique. You got two wires going into it, okay, and the wires are holding to the rafters on ceramic posts. I like to trace that down to where it's coming into. I'm curious of where your box is. And of course, he finds the box, he opens it up, he pulls the panels off. That's not coated, that's paper coating wires. What in the hell do you guys have here anyway? Well, it turns out Grandma and Grandpa didn't have a color TV, have a TV set. They were very Christian people, and they didn't believe TVs were created by God, and since it wasn't created, they were very Christian, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing they didn't have computers or big TVs, something that's going to draw power, because your wiring will not hold it. It's all paper coated. Yeah. So, and he looked at the outlets. They were two-prong, no grounds. Oh, sorry, they did have grounds in the kitchen and in the bathroom. But of course, he pulls off the box, and you got two wires coming down. There's no ground on your electric here. And you got these two old wires coming down. Who put in the electricity in this place? Or the panels? They don't know. There's no record on this stuff. Of course, grandparents are dead. And he says, and he goes down to the old basement, and he looks around the old basement and says, yeah, gee, I haven't seen blocks like this for a long time. They're all they're not cement. They're the old-fashioned blocks. Yeah. Oh, wait. Wow. It smells down here. It smells down here. Because something's dead down here. Maybe there's a pile of newspaper that's dead. You're lucky you don't have a fire down here. And the old stove. Oh, yes. And nobody complained about the wiring down here? On this furnace? Well, of course, it's just, 120 volt stuff. You look at that thing, well, that has to be replaced. And your gas outlets have to be replaced. I wouldn't trust what I see sitting here in your gas and your electric here. Why doesn't these people who put the stuff in, they didn't say anything? Or maybe they didn't say anything. But I would say all the wiring in the house have to replace. And when I'm looking at the steel pipes down here, not all this stuff is steel. What? That's not steel. That's lead. And that has to be replaced. Your shingles have to be replaced. Your windows are a little rattly. You've got mice in your walls, in your attic, bats in the belfry. It's amazing I don't see a beehive down in the basement. I would say it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. My best advice, and don't take my advice, if I owned this place, inherited this place, I'd insure it for a lot of money, and next year I would burn it to the ground. Because all your electric wiring here isn't in code. Your roof is not in code. You're going to have to tear all that off and put some supports up there. And get rid of all the insects, and you got carpenter ants in this place. You see that big tree out front? Yeah, it has carpenter ants. Yeah, that's carpenter ants. I wouldn't. If I was you, I would simply you're going to have to basically tear out the walls. Some of the piping in here isn't code. That's lead piping. Lead piping. Flint, Michigan, lead piping. Well, you're like half of Chicago's built like this. Yeah. You know why they gut buildings in Chicago? They have to replace all the wiring. Your wiring is like what their wiring is. They have to replace all the pipes, water pipes, because they're corroded. That's why they gut buildings in Chicago. You're going to have to pull everything off your walls. You basically going to have to gut this whole place. This old house, go get one of those people there and come into this place. And this old house, if you got the money, you're going to have to gut this place. You're going to have to gut it. You're going to have to go after the foundation. This stuff is powder. Yeah, that thing. Basically, they told him that thing. And you can't sell it like this. Nobody's going to approve of this. I'm a private contractor. I can't sign off on this stuff. you've got a major thing. Oh, maybe you can sell some of the antiques. Uh-huh. Maybe you can sell the antiques. Maybe the antiques are worth something. But otherwise, you basically you're gonna basically have to put up a whole new house in the place of this thing. Yeah. Termites? No. Carpenter ants? Yes. Mice? Yes. Bats in your belfry? Yes. Your roof is too much weight on it. It's, the old saying, the snow thing, and it's parts of it's leaking. I would say is no. You're going to make a contractor very happy, unless you pull everything out yourself. Get yourself a dumpster, pull everything out. Make it a family affair. You got relatives? Make it a family affair. Have a big lunch over here and pull everything down. I mean, you could learn some carpentry. I mean, you can get an electrician in here and a plumber in here that really know what they're doing, and replace all that stuff. Because you can't sell this house. Not the way it is. Not the way it is, and you better get a building permit to do it. I would say pull. Well, you would have to get a building permit no matter what you want. Go to McNair's, Lowe's, or Home Depot, and get a contractor through them. Maybe go to McNair's and get a good price on everything. But if you want to modernize this place, well, the land is worth more than your house is. You may just want to tear it down or sell it as is. You won't get a good price for it because they're going to have to tear it down. And you got to remember, all your painting in here is lead. The lead walls, all the other stuff, all that's lead paint. That's a health hazard. And I would think some of that is asbestos shingling you got up there. Asbestos shingling, Yes. You got a money pit here. Your homestead is really interesting. Adam's family. No, I'm afraid not. I can't guarantee anything. I just told you everything I saw wrong with it. You got rotting here and rot here and dry rot there, and you got ants in here and ants in there, and maybe you got some uncles around too. But you got a money pit here. Did I say about electric hazard around here? Electric hazard. If you put too much wattage out of that, pulling wattage out of that stuff, it's going to burn and send those, or some of those wires should be inside pipes. Yeah, they're going to burn. So if you put a TV, a computer, I would say there would be enough. I think these maybe they're running 10 amps out of their stuff, and you got stuff that will you put a saw. Saws are 14 amps. You will pour more power from a saw. Your building will burn. I would say. And if your homeowner's insurance policy, you're going to insure this place, they're not going to insure this place. They're going to walk in there. They bring in an inspector, he's going to do the same thing I did. They say, no way. So, think about applying for a permit. Or, since this place is, how old are you? If you're a senior, your taxes are cut in half. We'll save on your property here. Yeah, that's one thing about being a senior in this county. Your property taxes are cut in half, but still, You got a big problem here. And if you plan to fix it up by yourself and everything else, do one room at a time. Maybe start with a bathroom. You're going to have to replace all your piping. And there are companies that will come in here and replace all your piping. I'm quite sure you can find a company that will come in here and replace all your wiring. And you're going to have to, this is all ancient masonry in here. You're going to have to replace all this anyway. You know, you're going to have to replace all that stuff on the roof. You're going to have to pull that roofing off. Yes. They can't put another layer up there. They will go through the roof, and you should get some supporting here. Independent contractors. Go to Menards. Yeah, you get people, independent contractors. Get a little. Tell me you want to enforce your roof. Tell me you want to put solar cells on your roof, but you have to get reinforce everything. I can't tell you how to get around it, but learn to be a building contractor. Maybe it's wise to become a building contractor, a legal state building contractor, so you go to Menards and get contracting prices. I would if I owned this place. I would get a contractor, become a contractor, and you know, it's right there. The state will tell you how to be a contractor. And you apply to that thing, you become a licensed contractor. Nobody says you can have to do that thing. Go to the let's see, This Old House TV series and get their videos, and learn it that way. But I would think you're going to spend a couple $100,000 contracting this out, or maybe you can get This Old House to do it. Good advertisement. Yes. Contact them. They can get the contract. They can get the best contractors out there. Right. And this place is a challenge for them. No, I don't know. What can I say? Okay. Upgrading your homestead. Upgrading your homestead. Oh boy, have you got a problem?